1, 2, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2, check, check. The other thing is, Dakota, this is for 1, 2. If there's a question session, people want to ask questions. Well, if you want to be in charge of that, sure. Or you're doing just if somebody asks and they want to ask a question. Is it not ready to go? It's ready to go. Yeah. I'm just muted. I'll just. The ones in the back. Thank you.
Test. Hello? 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 How's everybody doing? That's it? That's all we got? How's everybody doing? Still, I don't know. That was still just okay. You guys got more energy than that for a Sunday evening? No. I'm asking a lot. Well, we appreciate that you guys came out. I know that it is a Sunday evening. I know a lot of people were at competition yesterday. So we really appreciate you making the trip and coming to visit us and coming to see Anna. So great big thank you to all of you for doing that. Give yourselves a big round of applause for getting out of your PJs on a Sunday and coming out. Are we good with sound? Oh, Anna needs to talk.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Like Haley said, thank you for coming out. I really appreciate it. This is my first time doing something like this, so I'm really excited that Limelight was able to partner with me and provide me this opportunity, and that so many of you showed up, and some of my teammates, some girls that I've seen before coming here to film, and just thank you for all the love and support.
So for those of you who may or may not know, We are streaming live on YouTube as well at the same time. So we have our in-person audience and then our online audience too. So if you do need to get up or anything like that during our time here, just be conscious that there is a camera here, and then one right in the center. So just be conscious of where you're walking. Otherwise, you might get a nice close-up of your face on YouTube. You might want to watch back afterwards and see if you made an appearance. So just be aware of that, but you're welcome to, if you need a bathroom or something like that, to exit. You are also more than welcome to take video and picture as well. Just ask that you make sure that your notifications are turned off so that you're not getting phone calls and texts in the middle. Or banging. I don't know what that was. I do have my notes on my phone Friday, okay? And we'll announce it on Limelight Teamwear's Instagram. And then last, I just want to make sure that we say a great big thank you to our hosts here at Epic Gymnastics. They've put in a lot of work to help get us all set up, build over the tumble track for our seats, move carpets out of the way, and everything else. So we really, really appreciate all of that. All that effort. I think Sandra and team are all over here.
Epic.
So thank you very much for that. All right, so we're gonna get started. We're gonna talk through some different things, learn some stuff about Ana, and then we'll give you a chance to ask some questions. Are you guys good? Yeah? Okay, here we go. So if you don't know already, Ana is an elite Canadian gymnast who has had many ups and downs throughout her career, but some really big ups and some really big downs. And the really great thing about Ana, and what the first time I met her, I knew instantly that there was something really, really special about her, is she just has this really outgoing, shining personality that I think has made it really easy for us to partner with her as Limelight. Her ability to take a situation and turn it into a positive, go with the flow, but still achieve a really high level, I think is a special gift and something that all of our gymnasts and dancers and any athlete, really, kid who's training and trying to chase their dreams could really learn from. So let's get into it. So Ana.
That was really sweet, by the way. Thank you.
Well, it's true. Just to get started, why don't you give us a little backstory on how you got into gymnastics?
I was just a ball of energy as a child, to the point where it was just scaring my parents, and my grandma refused to come to the park with me. So they thought they were sending me to a rec gym, but apparently at that point there were 2 Geminis.
Yeah, I actually remember that, yeah.
So we ended up going to the wrong one, which is the one that I've been at this entire time. So that was a blessing in disguise, and I guess I just left all my energy out on the floor there and kind of put my parents at ease. So that's how things started.
Nice. And what about gymnastics made you fall in love with it?
I was a big flipper. I loved like standing on the edge of the couch and just flipping onto my stomach. And I just love that feeling of flying, because I think that's something that's very unique to gymnastics and a few other sports that makes you feel a little bit invincible for a few seconds.
Nice. And through all of your gymnastics, is there any pivotal moments where you feel like the experience shaped the gymnast you've become?
Funny enough, the first pivotal change really happened when I broke my foot the first time. I think that really put gymnastics into perspective for me, and that was the first time I was really coming into the gym every single day wishing I could do gymnastics again. So once I healed up from that, I didn't really take the sport for granted anymore, and I really found another love and desire for it. And through that helped me work harder in the gym and pursue goals that I never thought were possible just because of the desire that was reignited in me.
And how old were you when you broke your foot the first time?
I was 15, turning 16 that year.
Okay. And so how did you find training during that time? Did you stop completely or did you continue to train?
I was still at the gym every single day. I think I was still doing mostly the full hours. Most of the time I was either helping my teammates or conditioning a lot. Honestly, every time I've gone injured, I've gone stronger because of all the conditioning that I've done. So I think that also helped me come back a lot faster and better than I was before.
Now, moving ahead, so I know you broke your foot when you were 16, right? And then in 2020, you were supposed to be going to the Olympics. Had you actually made the team? Like, where was that? Tell me about that.
So going into 2020, I only had one more score to fulfill to become a priority on the team. And I did that at my first competition of the year and my very first beam routine. So I had a coach come up to me afterwards and was like, I just want to let you know, you've basically unofficially made the team, you just need to compete at trials. So I was not expecting it at all. I honestly had not I did not read the Olympic process, so I did not know what I needed to do. I was just kind of going out and doing my best at every single meet I was at. So that was an unexpected event.
Nice. And then obviously we know 2020, some stuff happened in the world that changed things. What happened post that? Because I think there was another injury in there, right?
So I found out that the fracture that I had in my foot in 2 years prior actually never healed. And I hurt my foot again about a year after, which was in 2019. And only then when I saw the doctor, he was like, this injury is old. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I literally just did it a week ago. So he was like, we could do surgery now if you want. And I was like, no, like the Olympics are still happening. I want to push through this. I've already made it this far. But after the second time I injured it, it started bothering me a lot more in the gym. So once COVID hit, I was like, this is the perfect opportunity to get the surgery. But then the recovery time was a lot longer than I expected it to be, which is what took me out of the Olympics during COVID.
So what was that experience like? Knowing you had pretty much unofficially made the team, knowing that that was an option, and then that the surgery, the healing was taking longer than you had expected. What was that like for you mentally, physically?
So this may sound a little bit weird, but I was kind of happy when COVID happened. I was in a little bit of a rut at that point, and I was kind of dreading every day in the gym and kind of just training because I knew I had the Olympics in my view, but not really enjoying what I was doing that much. And I was just training because I was excited to go to UCLA, basically. And so when COVID happened, I just really, really needed a break. So I was barely conditioning, barely working out, and I think that's what my mind and my body needed. So COVID was another blessing in disguise for me because even though that hit, my surgery recovery was longer, I took those opportunities to heal in ways that I hadn't before. I would talk to professionals, talk to people that I haven't before, and seek help, which was something I was avoiding a lot. And I feel like that helped me grow a lot more as a person, and taking a year off before school and just enjoying life was something I think I really needed and didn't have in my previous time.
So did you take a gap year then between high school and starting UCLA?
Yeah, I wasn't allowed on campus because of COVID. So.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. So that leads into your UCLA time, which I know started out still recovering.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. What was the beginning of starting training at UCLA like?
It was a very, very exciting time. And anywhere I went, I was starstruck. I walked around campus. I woke up every day super grateful to be in California, waking up to sun every single day. And just being with teammates that I've been looking up to for so long. And that was just a really, really cool experience. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
And then what, as somebody, I'm not from the gymnastics world. So what is the difference, and then collegiate gymnastics? What do you find the biggest difference is?
The biggest difference is that in elite, it was a lot about gaining difficulty, and execution obviously had to be there as well, but it wasn't the main focus. And in college, it was the total opposite. And because I'd never focused on getting my handstands perfect and everything straight arms, straight legs, pointed toes, everything had to be perfect, it was a different challenge to overcome. And I had to figure out different ways of training because I also went from training 6 hours a day to 3. So I had to figure out how to mentally get confident with only 3 hours of training and very few numbers under my belt.
So with that, is that true, the 3 hours for all college training, or is that when you were still recovering?
So the NCAA has a limit of 20 hours a week.
Okay.
And so we would do 3 hours in the gym, and then it was either another hour of weights or conditioning in the gym.
Okay. Awesome. And I have personally seen a lot of videos, I'm sure lots of you guys too who are excited about gymnastics, of what college gymnastics is like. Now I know that is only what is being shared on social media, so that is a portion of it. But to me, it looks like the camaraderie and the teamwork and the unity between all of the team members is like next level. Is that how it is?
I think the camaraderie is something that makes a team successful in college. I think having a culture that's very tightly knit. One of the best UCLA gymnastics coaches and gymnastics coaches of all time in NCAA, she describes it as a trampoline, and you don't want one thread missing because soon enough a lot of threads are going to go and everything's going to sink.
That's such a good analogy.
I really love going back to that. So I think really focusing on the culture and just being a great teammate is something that's really important in college. And gymnastics is only secondary at that point because you've been doing it for your whole life, that it should come naturally by that point.
Right. And so what would be, give me an example of some of the things that you might do as a team to help build that camaraderie and the strength as a unit.
So we've had times where we would organize like dinner times with the team. Whoever wanted to come, we would do a little buffet type style and just all gather up and eat together. Or at competitions, they organize blue versus gold challenges for us, which we have a lot of competitive girls on our team. And I think that brings out a unity that is just very cool to see. So we do play a lot of games together. We do those blue versus gold challenges in the gym as well, a lot of sticking contests, and I think just doing a bunch of those games just really brings people together.
Nice. In talking about teammates, obviously Limelight is a teamwear company, so for us, our slogan is designed to unite. What do you feel like is the biggest benefit of having teammates who are supportive?
I think it makes the world of a difference. I went through a period of time in my gymnastics where my biggest supporter was my coach. So it was just the two of us just working day in, day out in the gym, and I didn't realize how important it was to have teammates in that time until I got them. And I think training together and going through the rigorous conditioning and training hours, I think that's what builds that trust and strength within each other because you're in it together. And I think there's something really special about that.
Tell me a little bit about the journey that you've come on. I guess I'll talk a little bit about our back history. The first time that I met Anna, we were doing a photo shoot with Gym Can. which Limelight is the official sponsors of Gymnastics Canada. It's the national team. So we provide all the teamwear for the national team. And we had arranged to do a photo shoot with GymCan. And Anna was one of the gymnasts. There was 3 of you who came. And it was just before she was just about to graduate high school. I think prom was like the next week, or it was very close. We were talking about hair and makeup and what you're wearing and all the kinds of things. And that was the very first time we met. And that was when we learned that you were going to head to UCLA, which, I mean, we knew that you were going to have a great time. We knew from your personality that you would have no problem overcoming anything, that you were going to be, any challenge you'd be faced with. That has carried forward because now you announced back just before Christmas, you announced that you were going to be leaving UCLA to chase your Olympic dream, right? Because you didn't get to do it in 2020. So this hasn't been without challenges either. So tell me a little bit about what's happened since you decided to go after making the Olympic team again.
So it's kind of a funny story because I decided to make this change when I was at one of my lowest points in my career. So once again, my first year in college, I hurt my foot again, and I still competed through, finished the season, got surgery, got some shots in there, and just took time to heal up. And then when I got home, it was kind of the same thing as COVID, where I took some time off, completely healed up, and then when I got home, I was probably in one of the worst shapes of my life. I was barely doing a cast handstand on bars, barely doing like press to handstands. I was struggling a lot, but at the same time, I wanted something to look forward to and to work for that really was out of my comfort zone, because the one thing about college is that you're doing the same thing over and over again, and although you have time to play around, I'm still not doing the skills that I know I have the potential to do, and I feel like that overall just lowered my confidence as a gymnast. So when I started working these higher level skills, it was like, yes, I still have it in me, and I really, really missed that. So within a month of training at home, I went from barely doing a cast to handstand to doing like release skills on bars. And that's all because of my motivation. And at that point, when I came back to school, I was like, hey, I want to try for Canadian Nationals. I know it's in May. I know I can't do anything much on my foot yet, but that's still a goal for me. So during season, I would work my elite skills in between of my college routines. And I think that also overall gave me a lot more confidence during the season, working higher level skills and accomplishing them successfully. So then went to nationals.